And we're showing on the screen Hong Kong protesters throwing papers at police. There were some scuffles. There are some masks on the protesters, I think to hide their identity from facial recognition. I see some of the protesters are using lasers to foil the facial recognition technology used by the Chinese government to ID these protesters. This is a very high-tech, asymmetrical battle. If you had to predict its outcome, and I know that's a very difficult business, do you think that Beijing is going to blink? These Hong Kongese seem more resolute in their freedom than almost any other country I've heard of. 2 million people have massed in the streets, such an enormous percentage of the population. Are you betting on the spirit of Hong Kong, especially now that Trump is weighing in a little bit? Or do you think China is so resolved on this that they'll damn the torpedoes and crush Hong Kong like they did in Tiananmen Square?
Well, in the next 3 or 4 months, I don't see the Chinese deploying the troops or the armed police. After that, I think it might be possible, especially if we see contagion, if we see protests in China itself, inspired by the Hong Kong demonstrations. So that I think might be the trigger. But, you know, right now, it's not just these kids. It's a mass of Hong Kong people. You know, 2/3, maybe 3/4 of the population are very much against China right now. So it is a broad spectrum of Hong Kong society that is against China. And I think China understands that. If they introduce the troops to the streets, all bets are off. And I think Beijing knows that they could very well come out the loser.
Wow. You know, last time I was in Hong Kong, a friend said China didn't take over Hong Kong. Hong Kong will take over China, and I didn't quite believe him, but he suggested that you used the word contagion. My friend said the virus of freedom. I don't like saying virus of freedom because that implies it's negative, but who knows? Maybe in the end, Hong Kong will help free the rest of China. Last word to you, Gordon. I'm so grateful for your time. I know you're in such demand today by every network. Give us a closing thought. Leave us with something.
Yeah, in many times in Chinese history, including the last imperial dynasty, they unravel from the outside in. So when you have unrest in the periphery, that can eventually move into the center itself. And that's perhaps what we're seeing right now in Hong Kong. You know, you have the unrest, of course, in the Northwest where the Uyghurs live. So this could very well be the beginning of the end of communism. Might take a long time, Ezra. But this is very well maybe the process and how it gets started.
That's an excerpt from the Ezra Levant show. Every day I do a video monologue and then I interview an interesting guest. And then I end by reading my hate mail. But you've got to subscribe to it, which you can do at therebel.media/shows.